awesome people, and welcome back to a trail ride. It's been a while since I've been talking, and if I sound a little tired, it's because I woke up from a nap. I've had like such a wonderful start of this Saturday, which was like much needed after what I've been going through this week. Oh my god. Story time is coming up, people. Get ready. I have coffee as well, so excuse me. Let's just get going. I'm just figure normal trail ride, and hopefully maybe we will be able to see some plants on the way that I need to collect. So we'll just get started. If you hear any chirping or anything in the background, that is Vector. That is up and talking. Okay, so yes, story time. You might have seen that something already has happened. You might know sort of what has been going on if you follow me on Instagram. If not, then you're in for a treat. Well, basically, it was a Wednesday. I was working from home as usual. My mom is on vacation, and my brother was, as usual, in his room because he has graduated and now looking for a job. So he was in his room. And we've had like really calm morning. I had decided to work on my laptop so I could sit on the couch and we could watch TV while I was working. And my mom had been showering and she has been like she took care of her feet and stuff. And we just had a very very cozy morning. But we could hear that stuff was happening sort of in the stair house because we live in an apartment. If you didn't know. We could hear that something was going on outside our apartment. We were like, okay, someone is doing something today. And then we heard that something was doing on top of us. And we're like, oh, what is the neighbor up to this morning? Oh, well. And then we heard like a real like in the pipes. So mom was like, oh, maybe he has issues with his pipes. Okay, nothing more. But it was quite loud. And then it started to sound from our own kitchen, like water started to sound. And I was like, that is very unusual. And my mom is like, yeah, that's weird. So I just put my laptop to the side and decided like, okay, let's go and take a little look. Get out there, and what I see in our sink is black water. And if you know how a sink looks like, you know that there's like a little hole that is there for a sort of safety precaution. If there was to be filled, there's like a little hole for the water to get down again in case. So in a way to prevent flooding, sort of. From that hole, it was sippering out more, so to speak. It was like pss, 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 more black water, and I was like, Mom! Mom, oh my god, that's so disgusting! And I backed off so back. She came out and I was like, go there, close, you have showered. And she's like, oh, no, that's not good. And I was like, I don't know what to do with this. So I left the kitchen and I was like, what's going on? And also I went to check our bathroom because we usually have issues with flooding in our bathrooms for some reason in this house. Oh, this house. But nothing there, so I was like, okay, so that's calm. And so my mom comes out, she's like, you got clothes. There's a special vehicle outside. Go down there and find people so they can stop this. And I was like, okay, clothes on shoes. No, I had clothes on, shoes on, and and key. And I ran out into the staircase, and there I met a man. Oh yeah, you're already laughing because you know what's coming. There I met a man, and I was like, in Swedish, saying like there's a lot of water coming out of a sink, like trying to explain, and he's like, sorry, in a way. And then I realized that it was the cleaner that was there that day. He just happened to be just that day. He had to be there, and he was cleaning our staircase. Very very lovely man. He's like, no, I'm just the cleaner. I'm like, I'm so sorry. My apologies. I'm so sorry. And I continue to run down to the car or vehicle. I have to drink my coffee so it doesn't get cold. So I came down to the car. I see it's on. It's just I can see the cord that had gone up our staircase. Didn't think about maybe I should go up there. No. I went down to the car because mom said go to the car. I came down to the car, looked around it, and no people at all. They just left the car on. And I was like, okay, so not that. Go in again, go into the elevator and go to the top of the floor. Nothing up on the fourth floor. We live on the second floor. So I go down the stairs, and indeed there is an open door there, and the cord goes in there, and that is when I was like, okay, hello, and I saw the neighbor standing there with his arms crossed, just watching, looking like a clueless mess. I don't know why. As soon as he saw me, and another man was like, yeah, what's going on? Sort of like, oh my goodness, this ain't good. And I was like, there is a lot of water coming up our sink right now. He says, yeah, I figured something. I thought something was sounding weird. And so he and I both ran down to my apartment. He came in and he saw the mess. And then, when I saw the mess, it was no longer in the sink, people. It was going on the floor because underneath we have, since we have bought, as you know, who follow me, we renovated our kitchen 2 years ago. And don't know if you remember, go back to those vlogs to see how that kitchen turned out. But if you know, we have sort of, what is it called? Not cabinets, it's drawers, big drawers underneath, and in their little shapes so that the pipes can fit and all. And from those, it was coming down. Water was sipping out from those onto the floor and going everywhere, basically. And it was like, okay. He was like, he had already shut down whatever he was doing. So now it was just water coming out, and he was like, okay, we need something to clean this up with. And mom was getting stuff. She had changed, thank God. So she was not in her wardrobe anymore. She came up with stuff, and he started to clean. We did not. We just gave him stuff, and he started to clean. Such a kind man. Started to clean, and he drew out all the drawers, the big drawers, put them out. They were soaked inside, and that is when he saw that the pipes, because of the pressure from what he was doing, it couldn't take any more of the pressure, so they split because they were not. He said that they are supposed to be screwed tight to make sure that doesn't happen, but for some reason today sometimes they don't do that anymore. The plumber who fixed our kitchen, he just put them together in a way so that it's easy to put them to draw them apart, but it's still like it takes a bit of power to take those apart. Like, we have had no issues with this until this high pressure whatever they were doing was going on, but because of this high pressure, they split. And so it was water everywhere, and this is where the fun part comes in. It was not just water, people, it was sewer water. Like, water like, it was black water, looked like it had lumps in it. And it was just so disgusting. It was smelling like, yeah, it smelled like it came from the sewers. Amazing in the kitchen, people. Got a little plant there, so that's nice. Yeah. This man, so kind, started to try and clean up as much as he could. He took pictures, and he also continued what he was doing, what he was meant to do there, but from our end, as much as he could. So it was like, okay, because like high pressure flushing, I think is I don't know if you know what that is, but yeah, you do that. You're supposed to do that, like, especially you're supposed to do that. He says maybe every other month because of the stuff we tend to flush down our stuff. Our sinks and toilets and stuff, you're supposed to do that actually quite often, but for some reason, the place we live in, well, I can't even remember the last time we have done that. Fun. So those pipes did not look nice at all. So he was being, I heard the dude was being very grumpy. He was not happy how this ended, and of course he wasn't angry at us. He was just grumpy at how bad this turned out for us. So yeah, and I was like, I don't know what else I can do. Mom was giving him stuff. I did not want to be in the way, so I just returned to the couch with my laptop and continued to work. And I just sat there and watched, and as I said, the dude continued to clean, very kindly. I was thinking we go down here and see if maybe the flowers have spawned in these woods. And yeah. So yeah, he did that, took pictures as I said, and when he was done, he said he had called the company he works for, and they are gonna send someone that is gonna to clean and sanitize our kitchen, because it's you do not want sewer water. It's contaminated to no extent. Like you do not want to cook. You do not want to be in the kitchen because. Oh my goodness, so disgusting. What else happened? And then we just sat there. It was still pretty wet on the floor. I don't think I can go here. No, yeah, I can. Still pretty wet on the floor when he left, and his colleague didn't show up until like 5 p.m. and this happened before lunch. So this other guy turned up, very kind. He started to do his work, and I had I had stopped working and decided to take a nap. Around 5 p.m. And I asked what are we gonna do for dinner, because I don't know if I told you these people, but me and food quite important. Um, my blood sugar can get low pretty quickly, and also my stomach works as a clock. Like, is it lunchtime? I'm hungry. Is it dinner time? I'm hungry. Believe me, I'm probably going to start getting hungry around after 4 p.m. and like then dinner around 6 is perfect. So that's how my stomach works. So around 5 p.m. when this dude shows up, I'm of course hungry, but I'm like, okay, this is not the time to actually eat, and we don't really have anything at home, and we don't know what to do, and we don't know how long he's gonna be here. So I decided, because I was also pretty tired after this day, so I decided I go and take a nap. And then when I woke up, it was pretty much after 6 p.m. and I basically woke up to low blood sugar. Like, wow. I was in a state that even if my mom tried to suggest stuff, I was still like, don't feel good, and right now I don't know what to eat. Everything sounds bad, but at the same time I'm hungry. Oh, it's such an awful state, and I'm also trying to wake up, but it's hard when you have no blood sugar. So it was awful. Uh, so my mom actually went into the kitchen with like slippers on or anything, so she had on something, and she could find at least something, because our kitchen is sort of split up that where it happened is not where we store food. Basically, we store our fridge and freezer and everything else in another corner of the room, and that part did not get any sewer water on it or anything, luckily. So we yeah, what did we do? So yeah, let's see now. Yeah, my mom went in there. She found some bread and she found like a tasteful mango yogurt that she managed to get into me. So I got some blood sugar back. And so my dad had arrived as well, because he's like very much involved when it comes to stuff like these. Helps out with calling people and everything. So yeah. After, so when managed to get some blood sugar, because of course my brother was also hungry. Everyone was basically hungry. So we went. The dude already had my mother's keys because he needed to go up and down from his car. So he said, we are just going to go out for dinner and we'll be back. So we went out, got dinner, and when we got back, he was basically sort of done. He just left something. He just left his thing that is supposed to be there and dry stuff out. Oh my goodness. So yeah, that was the first day, people. Amazing first day. Did not see that coming at all. Like, what? And I was like, my dad started to talk about, okay, how are we going to fix this? Because he's like all project mode, like, okay, we are not gonna pay any cents on this. Starting to call, like, oh yeah, that also happened. They started to call our insurance company. We sent in, I helped them send in a message to the board of like our complex house complex. It's like 3 or 4 houses that is in why I don't know why I stopped. That is in like one organization that has a board to deal with, and then that we are belonging to like a bigger sort of company, but we are just to make sure that everyone gets help easier, we have a board that helps out and that has contacts with the bigger organizations. So we sent in a ticket to the board and told them this happened. Not fun, and we probably need help with this very soon. So we did that, called the insurance company, and she was like, she was so sweet. When Dad told her the story, she was like, "Oh no, this sounds so horrible, but I'm glad to tell you people that this is at least like, it should be an easy case." And we were like, "Okay, that's good." And after that, we went to dinner, and then it was just like, okay, how are we at least gonna survive this night, or end the next day, before we get to know more from when insurance companies are gonna answer us and get to our case and stuff. So let's get to the next day. Pretty early, as I was actually eating breakfast or just started working again. I think I was sitting in the living room once again and chilling with my mom. The board, one of the board members called because she had seen our message, and she was like contacting us straight away because this is not fun. And apparently she was like, okay, according to this organization, I don't know what's it called, I don't know a better word for it right now, but yeah, to our sort of society, no, what is it called? Nah, I don't know. Okay, I'm gonna say organization, you probably know a better word. This organization has, of course, like it's sort of like terms and condition on to games that you sort of say that yes, I agree to this. Don't know what it's called, like rules and laws and stuff, but yeah, I'm gonna call it terms and conditions for living in these places, because it's not a rent base. We own our apartment. That's important for you to know. We own our apartment, and let's see now. She called us and she was like, according to these, if you want to do a procedure what our neighbor did up there, you have to go through the board. Like you say like, hey, I need this to happen, and they're like, okay, let's find someone, and we're gonna handle this. And so because this very much, even though we own our apartment, the structure of the building, like pipes that are in the walls and involves basically everyone in this building, or at least on this side that we are on, belongs to the people who owns the buildings basically. So if you want to do what he did up there, you have to actually contact them because it's their pipes. It's not your pipes, it's everyone's pipes. And she was like, we did not know about this. No one had contacted us about this. So then it got a little trickier, because then well, of course they are not going to be like, we are not going to pay anything for you because we didn't even know about this. It's actually the neighbor's fault. They didn't follow our terms and conditions. That's great. Okay, so that has happened. And Mom started to get a little worried. I was like, well, if this dude did not follow the terms and conditions, then it's definitely up to him to pay. And my dad is like on a bit of, like on a polite warpath where his goal is that we are not gonna pay any cent, because this is not great. This is not our fault that this happened, so to speak. And after that, so we stayed here, still sort of waiting for the our insurance company, to call us again, and to like sort of proceed our case. And the board lady that called us, she was going to contact the company that owns these buildings and ask for advice, because she's like, yeah, we don't know what to do since this is not really an easy case now again. So she, yeah, so we were waiting for a call from them, and we also waited on a call from the company who did this procedure, because they were going to send a person to examine, well, examine the kitchen, how much damage is there really, what might needs to be done. So we waited on that, but then no one really called for lunch. We ate lunch here, and then my dad and my brother wanted to go for like a walk in one of our nature preserved areas that we have close by. And I still needed to work, but my aunt had called and she had heard about this, and she said that we could come and be in her little cute cabin that she rents out at the rents that belongs to like a bigger house, so to speak, but they have like a big yard and they have a little cute cabin where she lives, and with a very nice sort of patio and that looks out to a forest. And she said that we could come there. And I was like, yes, please. So I packed up my laptop, and me and my mom, my dad drove me and my mom there. So I was sitting there working. As soon as we basically got there, the big company that owns the building called and says like, yeah, since since this was not a procedure done on them, they don't have any responsibility on what happened, so good luck, so to speak. But they still want the reports and everything, because of course there's still damage done to their property as well as ours, so they're not happy about this either. uh, okay, I'm giving up on my coffee now because it's cold. Luckily I have water. Mm-mm. Okay, so what happened after that? So my mom got a bit worried. She, of course, even though I'm like, we are all pretty sad that this happened, of course. But we were like thinking like, okay, we might have to change the floor, because that is now ruined. And luckily, that was like the only thing in the kitchen we decided not to change. And so that is still pretty old. So I was like, well, we could see it as a good part. Now we have to change the floor. And then we started to think, okay, we might have to rip out all the under part of the kitchen. I continue with the second story, because this is probably like this will not be the end when I'm done with this story, because we still have a lot to do. I will take pictures or maybe do a vlog for it. I don't know. Let's see now. So we are like, okay, there's gonna be a renovation going on, but before we can do that, we have to like sort of fix the damage that was done before we can even think about putting in a new floor and a sort of new under part for the kitchen. I'm gonna call it that. So yeah, but then also the dude that wanted to come and examine the kitchen, he wanted to come that day, but mom was like, okay, but we have now left the place, and we won't be back until like 5 maybe, or something. But and he was like, okay, I'll come in the morning next day. So that was decided. So that happened, and my dad and my brother came back from their walk, and we had like, I was sitting in a meeting inside the cabin while they were outside, because it was lovely weather. And so it was really nice to be actually outside and just have, yeah, air. So I was sitting inside having a meeting, and I noticed that my dad was on the phone again. So as soon as the meeting was over, basically that was my day also over. So I shut down my computer and everything. I went out the side, and I realized that they were calling our insurance company, and it was just a very, very long call. Because there's so many different parts. It's like home insurance, and then it's like, okay, but who's responsible is it? Okay, then we are put through to another woman, and she's like, or no, another dude, and he's like, that's not really what we do at this apartment. We can help you if there is like if this is gonna be a court case, and then in that case, yes, then we can help you with giving with some of the costs there, which was still nice to get to know, since now we know that it's not the company that owns the building, is our neighbor upstairs. And he said that if the neighbor upstairs decides that he do not want to pay the costs for what happened to our kitchen, then this might be a court case. And I can just see mom's face like going like, no, I don't want that. I just want it to be. I never wanted this to happen. And I just feel for her, and I realize how this turned from like maybe 2 months of having to fix to maybe 3 or 4 more months, maybe half a year. uh, so I might be laughing and smiling right now, but inside I'm like, I can't curse, but believe you me, I do want it. I do want to curse. But yeah, I'm gonna go for a little run. Let's go for a run. And whee! Oh, I needed this run. Pretty. Oh yeah. Okay. So yeah, we sat there for a call for a very long time. And they also mentioned like, okay, how could we get like some kind of help since we can't use our kitchen right now at all. And they were suggesting on that, and we were like, oh, this is not gonna be fun. So yeah, that was the day, and then we went out and bought McDonald's because we still have no food. So now Friday. I mean, I have to say, pretty lucky that this happened on a Wednesday, because then a lot could happen during the like Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. Friday, this dude comes around pretty early. I basically, for someone who's just gonna examine damage, he's quite loud. I woke up. Because I don't start until 9, so I generally go up around 8. Or I was going to get up a tiny bit earlier because I needed a shower. And, but he woke me up 7:30 a.m. I was like, what is he doing? Is he ruining our kitchen even more? But I didn't go outside, and he was pretty quick. And my mom, when I was done showering, and I was like, oh, then I can eat breakfast, because I have managed to eat some kind of breakfast in the nights, or in the mornings anyway. And I got there, I sat down for breakfast, and she basically said like, okay, there is quite a lot of damage. If you remember my vlogs, you know that the kitchen is like, we don't have open planning. So there's a wall to our living room, and the wall, like the sort of wall we have like the stove and kitchen and everything that was renovated, is connected to like a little tiny wall, then door, and then more wall. And he saw that there was damage, like basically on the floor close to this tiny wall. So we might have to knock down that wall as well. Great, because if we knock down that wall as well, that means they will have to rebuild the wall, and we will also have to do a bit of renovation in our living room, just to make sure that, because we can't really, we have, what is it called, wallpapers in our living room that's probably not sold anymore, because we renovated that 12 years ago, if I remember right. We did it the same time as before we moved in, and we've been living here for 12 years. So it's like, okay, then we have to find new wallpapers to the living room as well. Yay! And then if that is damaged, how does the actual wall where this kitchen is placed look like? That is behind that wall we have our second bathroom, big bathroom with laundry, sort of laundry, and we have bathtub, and like it's long, it's pretty big. And if that is also ruined, we might have to renovate our other bathroom as well. This just turned very big. And yeah, that's where we are today. We haven't heard anything more, because he was going to do a report that was going to be sent to the because it was the company of the building that wanted this report, and they are going to send it to us as well, because we are going to send it forward to our insurance company as well. And yeah, basically next week we are probably going to have a talk with our neighbor. Like, hey, dude, we have a situation down here, if you didn't know. Like a big one, big situation. You have no idea. So yeah, that is basically what's been going on. When that day was done, we ended. Oh, that was a great jump. When that day was basically over, we and I had was finished working again, because I kept on working every day, even though I felt like so exhausted from everything, having to listen to what's going on. Because luckily my mom is on vacation, so she can deal with it, even though she, of course, she hates this. She's so sad. She does. She was not. She didn't like. We were discussing maybe repainting my room, but never really got around to it. And now I'm so happy we did not. Maybe finding new doors for the rooms, but we never really got around to it. Maybe sending our kitchen table to be repainted and handled. That might happen now, because why not? So, but so lucky we. Oh, and we were so lucky to be home. Imagine the damage if we have not been home, or at least me and my mother had not been home, and my brother was locked in his room, not noticing anything. And well, no one else got problems. It was just us. The dude went down to the floor below us. They were like, "Huh? Is there a problem?" And then the other neighbor further down, they were like, "Oh, no, we don't have a problem. It's just us." Which, of course, lucky for this dude, because otherwise, fun. So yeah, that is where we are now. So that's happening next week. So this is gonna be a continuation, people, with issues. And I'm just. And next weekend, we had already like sort of booked. So we are going on a little sort of road trip. South of Sweden, just for the weekend, going away, being in a hotel, hopefully being safe, of course, social distancing and all that, of course, very important. But yeah, and I was like, do we have to cancel all this? And my dad was like, nope, because we're not paying for this. We're going on our holiday. Hopefully, we have been done with everything that needs to be done before that, or at least. It's the weekend, nothing is gonna happen anymore, and we are going to be away and eat good food and sleep in a hotel. But luckily, this dude that examined our kitchen, he said we could use the kitchen, just clean up, because it was already desanitized or sanitized, I don't know. So we just needed to do like a thorough cleaning of the kitchen. We could use it. It just doesn't feel good. Like, I don't want to be in that kitchen. It's disgusting, just knowing. And also there's like a hole in the floor because they had to rip up our floor to get to really cleaning it. But I helped. We are cleaning the kitchen still. I helped out today before I had to sit down and record, and my brother helped out. But yeah, he said we can still cook now. So we can use the stove, and if we clean our microwave thoroughly, we can use that as well. It's just like we have to do something, and if there is damage to the wall. So by saying that we can, doesn't mean it's okay in there. Yeah. What? So yeah, that is what's going on here. I think I'm gonna end it there for this story time. At least, and I will give you an update in the future on what's going on some other time. But other than that, what's happening anyway? I am continuing working hourly for Star Stable, and yeah, just taking my Friday off next week to go on this little road trip, and a little more vacation is nice. And Victor seems to have some issues getting on his pad, which usually like never happens. He can't see it. I'm like, what is it, dude? Just go on your pad. It's right there. Maybe he's like a tiny bit too hot now. Yeah, he might be too hot, so I'm gonna help him. Yeah, you get so mad, but there you go. Yes, you're very sad, but now you're on your pad, so go to sleep. Yeah, so that's going on. I'm still working basically. I might have mentioned this. I applied for an education, and I got to know the results that I am now as a reserve. Unfortunately, this year, because of the situation in the world, a lot of people has applied for university studies. And well, my reserve place is not the prettiest, so I am not. I am basically. I mean, I got it as a reserve last time to the education I went to, but yeah, I'm just gonna be like, it's not gonna happen. So I am hopefully, I'm like, I have hopes to maybe stay at Star Stable. Right now I'm just working, trying to be of as much help as I can, and we'll see. mm, and yeah, still in the writing club Lightning Vikings and having fun with that. I'm playing a lot of World of Warcraft. It's going well with Red Dead Redemption 2 Let's Plays now, especially now that I managed to figure out how to record. I am like a bit mad at myself that it took so long. Yeah, actually, let's go this way. That it took so long for me to figure out how to record this, how to record it with Streamlabs. Like, as I was googling, when it didn't work out the first time when I tried the camera, because I tried it recording camera with Streamlabs while also having Elgato's own software on recording that, so I had two recording software on at the same time, so the CPU just nope. So I was googling, trying to find like, okay, how do I fix this or anything, just any answers, and that is when I came across a page where from Streamlabs OBS, where they basically gave me instructions on how to record with Elgato on the Streamlabs. And when I follow those checkpoints, well, then everything works fine. And yeah, I've been recording a few videos and I can't see, like, now it actually works better than before. No glitches, I can use camera. So far at least, I've done now 3 recordings of 3 videos and all of them looks good. So I'm so happy. I hope you would like it as well. So I will continue with that. I'm even more excited now to continue, and maybe even we can do a bit of streaming. That would be fun. I'm just gonna I'm just sort of I'm streaming of me hunting instead of doing videos now that it works, and it feels like easier to do that. So I'm gonna do that. Now, I did ask you for questions last time, so let's just give me a second. Where are questions? Here we have questions. That is, let's answer them now, because I don't really have any other update going on in my life, because now it's just taking one day at a time and hoping I will survive. Okay, so first question from Lily's World. What horse breed would you want updated and why? Mine would be the Mustang, because I wanted to make some SSO videos with it, but I couldn't use the nicer new attack. Oh yeah, I get it. I understand your issue, Lily, and hopefully they will. They are a Generation 2 horse, and that list is right now one of the, like, the horses that are from the Generation 2 are the horses that are being worked on now. But of course they can't say when these horses will be updated, but they will be updated. Mustangs sometime in the future, they will be updated. That is gonna happen. But what horse breed would I want to be updated and why? And for me, it's definitely the Icelandic horse. First, because it's one of my favorite breeds. I grew up riding Icelandic horses, and I was so excited and happy when they came to the game the first time, and they had been my favorite breed for a very long time in the game. But now when the horses are getting to a quality that is just the Icelandic horses, they still work, but they're still not that quality. So yeah, I really want them to be updated, and just to be like, I think they can do marvelous work with them now, and I want to see the gates. I'm hoping they will focus more on like more of a competition Icelandic horse, because if we remember when the first one came out, we got to see like a video on how they did it, and I noticed that they were watching like a riding school sort of Icelandic horse, and sure, they're pretty, they are cute, and they work, but I want a competition Icelandic horse with that knows their gates and doing their gates properly, so to speak. So yeah, that's definitely why. Update. That's what I want updated. Okay. From Crystal Rose. Oh, another Rose. Which Star Stable NPC do you think you relate to the most, and why? And that is such a that's a difficult question. I think, and I know some are going to be annoyed, because this NPC is either you love her or you hate her, that I've noticed. Maybe, probably more people hating her, sadly, but it's Madison. I love doing her voice, and also I love her imagination. I think it is because she reminds me of me when I was young. I had such a huge imagination when I was young. I almost miss it sometimes when I could go daydreaming and all that. So yeah, definitely Madison. I can relate to her. From Brianna, if you could change or add something to Star Stable, what would it be? I have so much. Oh my god, I have so much. Oh, one of my favorites that I do want is a button somewhere here that when I'm done with a horse, I just hate doing this and dragging and oh everything when I want to switch horse. I want a button that says tack off, and if you click it, everything is put in the backpack. Yes, that's what I want. I really, really want that. Definitely. What else do I want? I want a new map. I need to be able. First of all, I want to be able to like scroll in and see more detailed area if I like smaller roads and stuff, and I want to be able to see coordinates because sometimes if you're up here, you can't see the coordinates; they're gone. So yeah, definitely this needs to be updated, I think. And there is just so much more I can't think of right now. But yeah. From Alex Frederica Albanoso, pretty name. Do you have any horses in real life? And if yes, how many do you have? If no, what breed do you wish you owned? By the way, love your videos. Thank you so much. I do not have any horses in real life. Never have. So unfortunately. And if I were to own one, it stands between owning Icelandic horse, like to really ride and stuff. But now we realized when I was counting back, I haven't been on a horse in 10 years. It's been so long. But yeah, I would definitely want, if it were for riding purposes, I would definitely want the Icelandic horse. But just to have a horse, I am actually like, because sometimes I get like, I just want a horse, I want a stable life, and I just want to have a horse to take care of. Then I'm like, I want a Shetland pony, or maybe a little Falabella that I can just have and take care of. Maybe learn how to drive a cart, like that would be so cozy. Learn how to drive a horse, and learn tricks with it and stuff. So definitely, so it stands between if it's riding, it's Icelandic horse, or if it is just to have as a, just want a horse as a companion, a Falabella or a Shetland pony. And then last question from VJ. How do you like to look at Star Stable online? Functionality wise, story wise, or safety wise? The aesthetic of the game and etc. I think you know what I'm talking about. I'll look at it story wise. Ooh. I'm not sure if I understand your question really. Don't understand functionality wise, but story wise, of course, I love the story. I was one of them that grew up with the original games, so I really love them. So knowing that the story is continuing and that I am now, as the character, a part of this story, that I'm just so happy with the story, and it has this past year taken such a interesting turn with some tragic and it's sad, then it's some happy moments, and then it's not. It's just, it's so interesting, and I want to of course know more. And then we have all the NPC and their stories. I just want, of course I am, as everyone else, wants more quests, because I just want the lore, and I love the Catherine memories. I love the story from that as well. So yeah, I love when it comes to story wise, I love Star Stable Online for how it is a story that doesn't involve, I don't want to say it doesn't involve violence, but at the same time someone did die and that's pretty violently, if you think about it. But it doesn't ooh, I need that. You don't have to it's not blood, it's not guns, it's no knives, it's magic. and it's beautiful, and it is every girl is a hero. I love how we are the hero, even though I sometimes wish we could be feel more that we are a hero. And I hope that it would come more of that in the future as we get more and more deeper into the story. But yeah, I just love the empowering women sort of aspect of this story as well. So yeah, that's what I like. Let's see, safety wise, not sure what you meant with that either. The aesthetics, so happy with how they're updating it and how it looks now. I came to the game when as how it looked before, and then I thought it was beautiful, but now that they have this look instead and how they are progressing and how they have so much more flowers and everything that is like happening with the butterflies and everything, it just has a more cohesive look. It looks more alive than it did before. More is like it's painted and it's beautiful. I just love this, everything about this game. So yeah, I hope I at least answer some of your questions, VJ, even though I didn't really understand the entire question. I hope, yeah, sorry if I didn't. Yeah. So yeah, we are actually getting back to where we started. Let's go for a little gallop again. So yeah, that's. Thank you for your questions, of course. Forgot about that. Thank you so much for your questions. For every trail ride, if you want, I can like leave a post up and say that I'm about to do one. So if you have any questions, just then add them there. Since you can't comment on any of my videos anymore. Kappa, love you. Okay, how long have I actually been talking? 47 minutes. Okay, people, I'm not gonna get back to this day because it's gonna be just way too long. I'm gonna end it right here. Thank you so much for joining me on this little trail ride, or very long trail ride with story time. And yeah, I'm gonna keep you updated for the next trail ride about what's going on with our kitchen and, well, our apartment in general now. So yeah, don't you worry, you will hear more of this drama that suddenly came into our lives. But in the meantime, people, stay awesome as always, and I will see you next time. Bye bye!